But up back. Come on. Aye, big up, man. Real Talk Leeds. Back again. We introduce yourself.
Yo, my name's Saskilla, some call me Hassan, but mostly Saskilla. From grime scene, Godson of Grime, some call me. But yeah, man, from my area.
So, was that technical difficulties? We're on the one camera now, but we're not on for much longer. So, we stopped off at the producers you were telling me about, innit?
Yeah, so obviously I'm skipping a major bit though, just before the producers. In my area, when I started to do music, I'm missing out.
But what was the first tune? That's what I was asking. What was the
first tune I ever made was a tune called it was a tune called Off Limit. It was called Off. It was actually a hook that I put together of a lyric I had for myself that was Saskilla What, which was what I used to say to the crowd for crowd reaction in my area.
Okay.
And I changed it to the group's name, so it was Off Limit What, and then there was a girl singing on it. And then we tried to do like a primitive So Solid thing. She's the singer.
And what genre? What genre did
this was definitely grime. It was we were trying to be garage, but it wasn't garage.
Okay.
This is still garage days, but this Ross was definitely about and grime starting and why this is crazy to describe is because there is no such thing as grime at this point. If that makes sense, there's no name.
It's the end of the garage area.
Where people are still calling it garage. People are still calling it garage. They're not calling it grime. So people are just saying that new stuff Wiley makes. That's all people kept saying. Oh, that new stuff Dizzy makes. Like they knew there was a new sound, but we didn't. There was no name. If you see what I'm saying. People are saying Sublo. Some people are saying Eski. Some people are saying that it was so many different names at the time. But there wasn't. Oh yeah, you're a grime. So yeah, we were doing this at the time. This group, obviously, we made a couple of tunes together, and then after that, I met these. At this time, another thing I have to know: nobody in my area does music.
Okay.
So Woolwich. Nobody in Woolwich at this point does music apart from one rapper older than me called Miniature. Miniature was the first rapper of the area, but he made rap. Nobody does grime. Nobody in this area does grime. I'm the first person to even attempt to do grime. And on top of that, it's like, I'd say the first person is Little P, who's in my crew. P, he's probably the first person from Charlton. Then I'd say me and Boy are second in line to that. We're coming through doing it after P, but P's the first person officially doing grime in the area. And then to make it out, I'd say it's me. So to making it out for grime, I'm trying to expand at this point. I meet these producers that P introduced me to called Beat Freaks.
Okay.
Beat Freaks.
Where are they from?
They're from Charlton. Beat Freaks now, they're like icons in the UK now.
Okay.
Like Beat Freaks at that time were just kids trying our thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now Beat Freaks have done Young Bane, they've done numerous tunes with like everyone you can think of, bro. They've done songs with everyone you can think of. Like that's relevant to the UK scene of today's music. Beat Freaks have done all the big hits and chart hits and stuff as well. But big up Beat Freaks from Charlton as well, Obi and Ooch. They're originals from the green, you know what I mean, that I've been putting in. But I will make the album with them, and this album was the most experimental album I ever made. It had rock on there, had indie, had grime, had rap, it had everything. It was like because these guys were experimental like me
to see what pulls
what we could achieve. And we finished this EP, and it was just for my listening. For me, I wasn't handing it out or anything. Then one random day, I was somewhere and I had a CD of it, and I don't know how, I just ended up giving it to Wiley. I gave Wiley the CD and ended up with the CD. And when he heard it, he was like, nah, I didn't know you could do that. I knew you could do that stuff. I didn't know you could do this. This is like where the money's at and that. Now you need to come and do Road Deep. That's when Wiley brought me into Road Deep because of this CD that I did on top of, I went to a Sidewinder. After school, my brethren was DJing there cheeky. I've snuck into the rave. I've all told him, yo, you got to bust the back door for me. Because he's told me, I'm going to take you to this rave. You got to get out of the car. I've said, bro, if you man don't want a problem and don't want to smash windows, you got to keep me in this car. I'm determined to go to this rave. I'm a little but I'm determined I'm going to this rave. I've gone to the rave. Them man are like, all right, you're now in Swindon, in Bath or wherever, next to Wales. They're like, raw, you're here, but we're not getting you in. You never got ID. So we're not getting you in, bro. Then I was like, nah. If you man want to come back to a car, you man need to let me in or bust
man
the at least.
Can't be going in and leaving when outside.
Yeah, you have to bust the back door. Even if you give me that man bust the back door, I get in. So I'm got into the rave now. I see my brethren jump on stage. I thought he said I'm going to the rave. I didn't know you know Wiley and these man.
Yeah.
So he's all jumped on stage. I'm talking raw. He's sitting next to the car and he's mixing and that. I'm like, raw. Does he know these man? So then I'm like, Ron, when the security wasn't looking, I hopped on stage as well, blood. I hopped on stage, boom. These men are spraying, scratches getting in. Remember, I'm just like a fan of this thing at this point. So these men, I just hear them on radio. That's not like I know any of them. So I'm just like in awe of all of them. Slow down, every single one of them. They're like they're the hood's heroes at these points. You know what I'm saying? These men are the man that you know what I'm trying to say. So man's looking at them, boom, boom, boom. They're spraying, Jamie's just a new face. I don't really know him with them, but I know of Jamie before because I used to go Heat FM in North London, and I met him and Skepta up there before all of this. So I was like, oh, is he rolling with them now? I didn't know what was going on. Then I got my little shot to spray, bro. Biggest video of the whole night. Because I had my school bag still on. So as I'm getting the reload, I'm so gassed. I start doing a running man like MC Hammer. The crowd starts going more crazy. So the crowd's getting more crazy. Then man is like, who's the shoe? He's like, who's the shoe? He's going crazy. But my brother's like, yeah, I bought him. I'm thinking, looking at my brother, you didn't leave me in the whip? What are you talking about? You didn't even want me to get in the car, Cheeky. How about that? You was not even trying to take me to this place. And then now, yeah, I brought him. That's my guy. You know, I told you about Sass. I've been telling you about Sass. See, you don't listen to me. I'm thinking, don't listen to me, yeah? Man was like, listen, when I go do my thing, just stay here. Man jumped onto the stage, left me for dead. Now man switched. I'm like, alright, cool, say nothing, Cheeks. You know what I'm saying? After that day, we've left. Cheeks is like, yeah. He's driving back with his brother. He's like, yo, you done a good thing tonight, you know. Trust me, you done a good thing tonight, you know. Your life changed now. From that night, from this night, your life changed. I'm like, what's this man I'm talking about? Gone home. Next day, Mum's just like, yo, go down the road and get me some rice for the food. You know, normal ones, like, you gotta go do your little errands. My phone starts ringing. I'm like, oh, hello? Hey, is that you? I knew the voice straight away. It's Wiley. I'm like, oh my God. I need to get my number. I'm thinking, maybe it's cheeky. He's like, yeah. So what's your postcode? My postcode? I'm like, what? For what? Woolwich, Thamesmead? What? You want to come here? He's like, yeah. We're coming in now. Boom. He gave me the postcode. Gone and got the rice. By the time I went and got the rice, my man's pulling up on my drive. I'm like, yo! My man's got Jamie in the car, him, Carnage, and I think Maximum. I think that's who was in the car. And then he's like, yo, boom. Talking to me. I'm like, yo, you know, it's kind of chilly out here. You man want to come in? That man come in, mum's made them some tea and that. So she's gone upstairs. That man are laughing and joking. Then she starts banging the thing. You know when you do that? Yeah. I'm like, yo, man. I even remember, and I remember it was so funny because when he was outside, she was like, "Is that the guy that was talking about pies on MTV Base? Is that him outside?" I was like, "Yeah, that's the guy with the pies tune, mum. That's the guy." She don't know who you call it, but she knows the pies because pies was like a big thing they were pushing at the time. Who were all that? She knows that one. She was like, "Yeah." Right. So then I was like, "Yeah, that's the pies guy. That's the pies guy, mum." Then she brought him in, boom. Then he's like, yo, basically, we're expanding. What year was that when they dropped this? This is 2005. So Wiley's like, yo, we're expanding Road Deep. I don't know if you're in a crew or whatever. I'm expanding Road Deep. We're going to have a guy from North, that's Jamie. We're going to have a guy from Northwest, Manga. We've got a new guy to replace Dizzy, which is Trim. And then for South, I want it to be you. So I said, bro, it's an honor, bro. Boom. Started going to the sessions, started turning up at Danny Reed's house, picking beats for my album, why he wanted me to make this album, why he gave me 3 singles for my album. One of them was this tune, and I made my first like big single to that tune, which was this tune, Saskilla. I made it to this tune, yeah. And then my studio got robbed. So this is a mad period of my life where I almost quit music. So what age are you now? I'm like 15. I'm definitely turning 15 now. School. So I'm getting to about 16. I'm about to leave school. Money, yeah. I'm thinking about things. Yeah. I'm making this album. I'm going to the studio of this top shot in my ends. He's bought the studio. I'm going helping him, so I'm bringing people there to his studio. I'm bringing Crazy Titch. I'm bringing I'm making all these songs that Jamie's coming there. People are coming there and coming to the studio, and they're using the studio of his, and other kids in the hood members and people are coming there. And basically, what ends up happening? Skibbity used to have a studio in this same building as well. One random day, the landlord that owned the whole building didn't pay the rent to the main people. So the council came, put a bolt on the door, and nobody could get into the studio. So we was like, what's going on? We're ringing the landlord guy. He's like, yo, we're sorting it out now, sorting it out. One random day, let's just say today's whatever. Say like Friday from now, Friday, yeah? You get a text, yo, Mo, go to the building. And you're like, why am I going to the building? The building's closed. No, that man opened it at 9 this morning. These times it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You've gone to the building, every room's been ransacked. Somebody went there first, realized, because what they did, they went inside, opened the front door, then went and opened everybody's door. They unlocked, they drilled off all the bolts of everybody's locks. So that was because what they were going to do is when the building owns rent like that, they claim everything and seize everything in the building. So they opened it, then the guy paid, then they opened it all up, but it was already everyone's doors are open. So whoever went in there just got a van, clambered everybody's equipment in there, and they just ran off with the stuff. So by the time we've gone there, nothing left. No mother. I was crying bro. That was my entire life. I had Gets on my album. I had Jamie on my album. Kano was on tour. He was going to come off tour to a verse for me. I didn't have a problem with Kano at this point. Wiley had produced the best song for me, like 3 singles that were just, I was gone. It was the best, some of the best work I ever made in my life at that time.
Set you back, man.
And all of the work got stolen. I didn't have anything else. I didn't have anything left. And then I basically wanted to quit music because I've basically been working on this for a year. And I said, this is mad. I didn't even remember some of the bars. They were only on those tunes. If you record it, then you didn't learn it. So that it was just so it was like, this is mad. I can't ask all these people to come back and make these tunes again. It's just mad. So what ended up happening is after that studio got robbed, I basically was about to quit music. My mom basically said, yo, I'm going to Africa to go do some business. You might as well come out there.
Headspace.
Yeah, and clear your head, because what have you got here?
What's going on?
At this point, man's doing a night course. Man's doing because I'm just about. I think I'm just about to start. No, still in second. So I've gone to Africa for the summer, and then obviously when man come back, school starting again. And man's thinking, you know what? Why should I even go back to England for, man? Like, my football team's not going in how I wanted it to go on. The music thing, I've lost all my tunes. I'm not going to do this music thing anymore. I don't even care about it. Fuck it.
Work or something.
Let me just do our thing and try to build something from Africa now. So then I'm doing that, and then my brethren Strivers rang me, and he's gone, Sass, I've recovered a hard drive that I had at my house that I had copied some songs over. We've got 2 songs left from the whole of that works. I said, what have we got? He goes, yo, bro, we got Oi Ho Rhythm, some song that had Crazy Titch, Tiny Temper, everyone was on this song. It was an 8-bar rhythm, but it's like a pow. I was like, I can't be bothered to do that. Then he goes, and we got Dreaming, which is a love song with a girl.
Okay.
And I said,
is this the one that what you released on Telling You?
Yes.
Okay.
So he goes, we got that. I said, but Dreaming though, because I'm thinking I'm the grime guy. He goes, nah, sometimes you got to show them your versatility, bro.
So what did you class? Was it garage? Was it more garage?
It was grime. No, it was grime. It was R&G. It was grime, straight grime. Okay. And he goes, bro, please come back. And then I came back. I said, bro, I'm broke. I can't even come back. I've been doing hustling, nothing. I'm back. He goes, bro, just come back, bro. And I said, all right, cool. I said, I came back and I said, yo, I never do. I said, yo, mum, you know what? Man needs to borrow 2 bills. Then she said, 2 bills? Brother, you must be dreaming. you're gonna get out 1 bill, make it work. I said, yo, all right. So I got a bill. Man had this bill. I gave Striver the bill. He paid it towards the cameraman. He paid the other 6 bills. I said, I'm gonna owe you that 6 bills. Boom. Patterned the video now because I've turned up. I remember I didn't care so much. I turned up in an African.
Can I clip it in on you?
Yeah. I didn't care so much. Man just turned up in an African dashiki, like for my visual. He's like, bro, people in Grime don't wear African clothing, bro. I said, bro, I just came from Africa, bro. I'm on my African shit right now. Like, this is what I'm on. If this is what they want, this is what they're getting, bro. They're getting African shit right now. Man done the video because I was on the African shit and it was so like loud and proud and just being, I don't care. And just doing it. It resonated with the people. On top of that, I remember it was a love tune, but I had a line in there because I said I need to keep it grime. So I had at the time, God rest her soul, Whitney Houston was still alive. And she was going through her troubles. And I remember one of the mad lines I had in there was, people used to say, yo, they would talk, when they're talking about something at those times back then, this is like 2005. This is like 2005, yeah. In 2005, 2006, yeah. In 2006, people were saying, they would say, oh, like, oh, have you seen my man's car? My man's car's the crack, you know? Or they would say, oh yeah, that TV, that's the crack right now. Like people were saying that a lot. So then I was like, right, I need to get that involved in this love tune. I was thinking, how am I going to get that line involved in a love tune? So I must have said in the tune, yeah. And just like Whitney Houston, our love is the crack. But it was like a trip, it was a double entendre because it's not the what, no, yeah, that thing's the crack. I really meant like, yo, Whitney Houston and the crack and yo, that thing's the crack I love. So it was like a mad message, but it resonated with the people so hard because it was like, how did man find time to put that line in there? Like, that's so random in a love tune, but it worked because man wasn't trying to be lover boy. Man was trying to be grime lover boy.
He
you know what I'm saying?
Worked for the
different
time.
thing, it worked for the time. So then that tune has got my bare bookings. Like, I'd never even thought it would happen. We had a launch party. They let us have the launch party in central London. I've never even raved in central London at this point. I'm having a launch party for my song. Bare models and people are turning up. Then from that, we're getting booked at all of these different schools and unis, and man's making a little 4 bills here. Man handed him back that, the way I might have slapped that bill back to my mum quick. She was like, raw! That was the quickest $1 million investment I ever seen. Because he was like, boom, ting, after about a month, ting went number 1, boom, number 1 for 5 weeks. Man's just like, raw, man's number 1 in the whole country.
So what you're saying from the stage with your brethren, should we say cheeky?
This something.
No, but I'm saying though, from the stage with your brethren, cheeky, you're now at this point.
Now, and they're flying, and I'm thinking this is a bit mad because what's actually happened at this point is man was about to give up music. Man only had 1 tune out of 2, tune out of 2, and the man said, "Bro, just come back for this 1 tune. I believe in it." Striver believed in that 1 tune, and like to be honest, I'm not sure if I fully believed in the tune at that time. You know what I mean? Because I was so disheartened with everything. But because he believed, I believed, bro. And then that belief resonated. Mr. Wong, obviously, massive part of that tune. Mr. Wong put the grime side of it on the map to make sure that all the other bits connected.
I'll chop that in as well.
Yeah, Mr. Wong, massive part. Mr. Wong being on that tune, he was bigger than man at that time. So Mr. Wong was really bossing man onto the platform on a love tune because Mr. Wong hadn't ventured to love tune yet. You know when it doesn't. So we was both touching territory, grime-wise. That, to be fair, when we look at it, when we brought out that tune, this is 2006 probably, 2005, possibly 2005, possibly. I'm not sure how many love songs of grime were out at that point with videos. I don't think there was any. Maybe only Kano released one. I don't even know if there was that love tunes like that. So then,
I don't think there weren't really many.
There weren't many.
It was the back end of the garage season, start of the grime.
Yeah, we were both.
I'm not really on the love.
We were touching on something, and then after that, I obviously wanted to get back to the nitty gritty of what we really do, and then at that point, the man them started to believe now, because obviously you have to remember, after all my tunes got stolen, I've made tunes for a year. So I've made tunes for a year and no one's heard from me because those tunes never came out.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like to the man them, I'm dead out. Then I've popped up, back again, up there, now boy and that hollering me, yo! Wait, that thing's looking like. But these times you was thinking, oh, man was dead out. Man's not going to do AFNOB. You man ain't even saying come back. You know, like, boy, them man ain't even saying come back. All my bedrooms, they ain't even saying come back. So, but man's get the thing popping now. The man, I'm like, yo, we need to see this pattern that you got with this TV pattern. This video killed the radio star, bro. It's not about radio and that now. You found a new avenue. This is the way. We need visuals. And you made it look good and that, yeah? So then what man do after that now, yeah, is we start shooting Gash by the Hour. Yeah.
Okay.
This is where we get the Gash by the Hour ready, yeah. We get Gash by the Hour ready. Strava produces that one again, bad boy tune. I remember going to pick up Flirter for the end of the video because that was them days when you used to cut in another tune. You know, you remember you used to have another tune at the end of the song. So
drop it in.
Yeah, we had Flirter on that. Flirter just dropped hype and all them things there. So you know what I'm saying? It was a different time. And then after Gash for the Hour, that was when man just went to the moon because we didn't realise when we was making it. We knew it was a banging tune, but we didn't realise we had made the biggest tune of the year. Like we didn't realise that. We just thought, oh, we made another good song. Like, we didn't realise, oh, this is the best song that's going to come out this year. Like, nothing's going to touch this for a couple of years.
What year was Gash by the Hour then?
So, Gash by the Hour was 06, 07. So, in 06, 07, like, there's a feeling every single artist who's been the top boy, whether it's Sneak Boy, Skepta, Wiley, Dizzy, each person has experienced this. There's a point where your tune or whatever element or energy you bring out, it is the top energy. So you see when you go to any show, anything, doesn't matter who's on the bill, bro, they're getting cleaned. To the point, man, don't want to be on the same bill as you, or they say, yo, put me 2 hours before them, man, because you're wiping out man's
I know what you mean, because it's like, obviously, when even, it's different genre, totally different thing. When we watched the boxing the other day, when Ishii fought, the thingy was a bit quiet, but as soon as it was the main stage, everybody's there now waiting for the main fight. So you've missed that main crowd, or if it's the other way around and the main crowd come for the first, by the time it comes to you, it's quieting down. So you know it's hard to even get out your music or get out what you want to get out and perform.
And then
the show.
yeah, so then after that now we put it out, biggest tune, tunes in America, tunes here, because this is the spreading of grime, it's how big grime can get in it. After that now, I said, nah, I need to bring in the man them. I need to do Anthem. That was double because when I was doing New Brand in the early days, I was still New Brand Flex. But when Wiley asked me to join Row Deep, I was showing him our New Brand Flex man them on like a tape. I used to film the man them when we did sets and that.
Okay.
And then he was like, yo, the man them boy and that decent, you know what I mean? But this tiny temper, I don't know. He sounds like Dizzy Rascal. Don't think he's going to make it. Then I was getting offended. I was like, whoa, listen.
Rough Squad, wasn't it? Was he the was Rough Squad already?
No, Tiny was with me.
Okay.
So Tiny's in my crew.
Okay.
And then I'm
showing.
thinking,
sorry, when I say Rough Squad, I'm thinking of not Tiny Temper. What's it called, man? Things in Boots.
Tinch Strider, yeah.
Strider, sorry.
Yeah, so when I'm showing Wiley Tiny Temper, he's like, yo, I'm not sure about my man, innit? Then I'm like, nah, I believe in these lot. So if I really believe in these lot, like the way Wiley believes in Flowdown and he believes in Brazen and if I believe the same way and he's showing me the path of how you do it, you don't talk it, you go do it.
Yeah,
That's what Wiley respects. So man just said, you know what, all this road thing, I'm not going to ever disrespect the man them. They're giving me an avenue here and even an opportunity to be a part of this. Yeah. But I need to step away from this to have self-respect for myself and go and build up my own man them and have talk to chat to Wiley or to chat to them. So within a year, I went away, we made Gash for the Hour, Tiny made Wifey, our profile's now raised. We're now at the shows. Sometimes we're headlining over Road Deep. Sometimes Road Deep, we're supporting them. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But we're at the same shows. Now when Wiley's bucking me, that was the first time, I remember, it was like 06. We were headlining, we were the headliner for Eskimo Dance, me and Boyle. And I remember we was wearing blazers that day. And Wiley in Watford, Wiley came up to me in backstage and he's like, yo, you know what it is? No one's ever really proved me wrong. You walked away from Row Deep and now you're headlining Escobar. That is what I call standing by your word, being a man of your word. So sometimes I don't listen to you, but this is what you have to do to prove that you're right about it in the first place. Because then I was right, innit? That means I was right. Because if you didn't do this, that means I was right. Do you admit that? I was right. So I'm not right on this one, but you've had to do this to prove, you know what I mean? So I said, yeah, fair dues. I've had to go away and prove my worth, to prove we deserve to be here and for our own right without a roadie bringing or whatever, you know what I mean?
Getting put in front of the crowd, you put yourself in front of the crowd. It's the same thing as like when you said, and I'm going to go back to it, when you went to the place with your brethren, you put yourself in front of that crowd. You didn't wait for someone to put you up.
No.
You know what I mean?
So then once that's has happened now, and things that he knows who Tiny is, he knows where he is, he knows who P is, he knows who New Brand is. We've had number ones where, like, in terms of radio and stuff like that, Boy Better Know was number one. In terms of everything to do with television.
And also, just a quick one for the viewers. Obviously, there's a lot of names and people what he's mentioning here where people might have questions. I might not have as many because my age different. Like for him, what the things that he's saying, I'm only clicking on when you started talking wifey, Tiny Temper, because that's the era what we came in. You get what I'm saying to you? So if anybody watching that's older than me that's got questions, fire away in the comments, because obviously we've got contact. You know what I mean?
So then after these periods now, obviously. We've got these tunes. We're banging off. Things are happening, and then life gets real, bro. Like I remember, bare mad stuff happened. I don't have to go into everything mad, but what ended up happening is Tiny started doing his own solo thing. He was with the person that started New Brand Flex, which was this guy Richie Montana. He's like our elder. He was our DJ. He was the person that was older than us and brought us in and taught us how to go studio, and he was the one showing us a lot of the ropes of recording. Even though I was developing, he brought me along a lot further, and Tiny. He helped us get to a much quicker period of where we was at. We said, look, as a group, Tiny's thing is a bit more female orientated. He needs to be on a solo tip. You go with him and do that. We'll concentrate on the group thing and keep doing the rugged thing. So we done that, and then we got to the point where we needed to get signed now as well. So then we made Runway. Runway was going to get signed to a massive record label. Was going to sign it to Sony or Universal. Everybody wanted it. It was like the number one song in the country next to like Tinchie's tunes that were out and the songs that were out at the time. But the difference with our thing is when I do things, I always keep in mind the factor of why I did say that line, just like Whitney Houston, our love is the crack. I said that because I never wanted to be the generic thing. So when we came to this thing, and at that point, this is when everybody's kind of doing this, man, I'm not really concentrating on this grime thing at this point. They're kind of doing this electro thing and all this. And I was like, yo, that's fine and dandy. I don't mind changing the sound. Sound can always change. I'm a sound boy. Sound is sound, you get me? But man's not changing. Man, that's what we're not changing. You could put Bob Marley on the sound could dance beat. He's still sounding shining. He's still sounding the same. So it don't matter about that. Man has to still be man. So I said, raw, if we're doing this tune, we ain't doing no, oh baby, I love you, oh the sun is shining, and doing some cheesy thing. We're gonna talk about garbs. We're talking about drip. We're talking about how we dress, like the clothes man get, whether it be tweed blazers, whether it be Abercrombie and Fitch shoe, you know, whatever it is. I don't know what it may be, but whatever is styly, that's what we're discussing, because that's the way man's wired. That will resonate with people because that's more authentic than man talking about imaginary dream girl on a beach and all this random stuff that was out at the time. That resonated with the people as well. That's what that song ended up being for New Brand anyway. For us, a lot of people think that's when ours our biggest song. In commercially, Runway was our biggest song because it took us like to places we'd never been before. I'd never been supporting X Factor finalists and all of these things. I was doing like these massive 20,000 university, you know, like those when it starts, you know, the freshers, like big ones, showing up uni things with big festivals and all this, and on Radio 1 bills and all this stuff, and I'm backing Annie Mac every week, and I'm like, raw. I'm in a different world, man's like when Americans come, we're supporting. We went to support Akon in Malta and all that. I never done that level with grime. It never, that, you know what I'm saying? Grime was massive. It got me here, but it wasn't the music sound that took me to these places. I was seeing, I was now seeing this is why Wiley's making bloody Rolex. This is why Skepta's making Rolex sweet. This is why Tinchy Strider's making Strider, man. Because you, man, ain't never seen this bread before. I ain't never been here before.
They're getting the good money.
Yeah. And then I started to see what was going on. And then how it feels when we go back to the... But at the end of the day, that don't feed our soul. All of that, you can be amongst 20,000 people. If it ain't your 20,000 people and they don't know your actual thing, like your deep thing that really make who you are, it's always going to feel like you're living a double life, a fraudulent thing. You know what I'm saying?
So you still got to have your own identity.
This is it.
Where you come from. Because it's all saying you can't forget where you come from.
Yeah, so after all of that kind of fizzled, I didn't want to go that path. Man, walked away from that situation and then went back to the underground. And as I'm developing a new underground... So
this is where you are now?
No.
Okay.
This is like... Now we're in like 2013.
No, but I don't mean like where you are now, but I mean this is where it's brought you.
Yeah, this is where it's brought
you. This is who you are now.
Yeah, this is who I am.
The identity you built
from that stage, I stepped away.
Okay.
A lot of people, and weren't as lucky as me, they went full whack.
Yeah.
A lot of people went so deep with those sounds, and so that's how they remembered. You know what I'm trying to say? Man has something in there, big hit in there, but I stepped away before it got too deep, and then that's what we're known for. So when we stepped away, now we've gone back to our sound. We started making a grime album. We went back to basics as a group. We went back to basics. We started making Rangoose Volume 2. We went back to basics. In the process of making this back to the grime album, at my house, one random day, Wiley turns up.
Yeah.
Wiley turns up, ends up staying at my house for a year. In that year, he makes Step 1 to 20, which was like a new thing for grime, where he done a new freestyle every week, and the freestyle was like on an amazing grime beat, and he was teaching people how to do this grime thing in 20 steps. Then he made Heatwave in that same year. We made Heatwave like in that period.
What year is this?
This 2013.
2013, okay.
So 2013 he makes Heatwave. Wiley goes #1 for the first time in his life, in his history. #1 single in the whole country.
Was it after the Rolex tune come after that?
Rolex was before that. So he had Rolex, that went '2.
Okay.
Now he's got Heatwave. Heatwave's #1. We've gone Marbella. We shot the video. Bam. Wiley's on top. Wiley's on top of the world. He's back.
He was in a pool, some pool party.
Yeah. He's back. Fully back in thingy. Then after that, Wiley's gone to Ayanapa. I've convinced him to go to Ayanapa. He didn't want to go there. We've gone to Ayanapa. I'm there. I'm developing music still. Then I let Wiley go on his journey. Because I'm realising at this point now, he's just got to #1. This is the same thing. What did you understand what I'm
saying? Yeah, Tiny Temper.
No. Yeah. We're at the Tiny Temper thing. But we're just higher up now.
It's
so
levels,
it's a different level. Yeah. So when I was...
Sorry for cutting you, but like, I did an interview a bit ago and I was saying, sometimes with your friends, you've got to let them lead and live their life because it's not your journey, that's their journey, innit? And you might catch up on so go on.
Yeah, so we're at the Tiny Temper stage again, and I realized, right, this is another Tiny Temper. If I stay around, man, I'm just giving guys to not doing my thing. I've got to go back to basics. Yes, I've helped. Yes, we've got here. I'm proud of Will, but now I've got to go back to what it is and do that work. So I've gone back, done that work. I started developing a new thing with my brother. So me and my brother developed this agreement with Posty at the time. So Posty, look, man's going to seed you a video every week. He's like, what? I said, yeah, a music video every week. I'm going to give you a music video. We're doing a visual mixtape. He goes, a visual mixtape? He said, yeah, every song, even the skits, I can have music videos and we're going to give it to you every week to put on the website. Okay, so then he goes, he said, if you can get to week 10, I'll give you a bag. Bro, we got to week 17. We got to week 17, bro.
I got to week 20
week 17. 17 weeks of shooting an entire music video. See, the concept has to be made by the Sunday. Yeah. And you have to be shooting the final scenes of everything by the Thursday. And it has to be out. You see what I'm trying to say? So to get it done every week, every Sunday, bro, it became like a job, like a 9 to 5. Because every week, you've got to plan an entire music video. Like you were, and some people plan a music.
And it's got to be different.
This is it. So we ended up saying, all right, fuck it. By week 6, me and my brother, we jumped in a plane and we went to Amsterdam. Then,
so where did you go, America then? Because you went what did you like, Gunplay or what was in there?
yeah, that was the same year.
Was it Gunplay?
That was all the same year.
What was his name?
That's the same year. So
Gunplay?
That's how it ended.
Yeah.
I'm getting to this. Is how it ended up happening. So I did the 17 weeks. I went to Amsterdam. I went to Italy. I went to France. I went to Switzerland. I went to Poland. And I did all of this on the visual mixtape. Every week I was going to a new place shooting a complete music video. Put it out. The views 200,000, 300,000. We was getting millions of views on this shit, yeah. This thing started going out 17 weeks. No one had ever seen anything like this before. Not even and they used to have a chart on Grime Daily at the time. And every week they would have 10 artists at the side of the website, and it'd be like, say, like at the time DVS, this person, that person, Blade Brown, this one, And every week I'd be put up a song and I would get as high as like number 4. I'd never get higher than number 4 on the overall artist of. When I got to week 13, 14, when I got to week 14, I got a call and I was offered to perform at Kendrick Lamar's tour.
Oh,
and it was going to be alongside Screw Fizzle as well.
Okay.
So Screw Fizzle was going to be doing his thing. We're there, Kendrick Lamar, boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, right, Kendrick Lamar tour, but it's only come because I heard my man had watched what I'd done on Grime Daily on week 14. And guess what happened on that week? On that week, I went number 1. I was the number 1 artist. It took me 14 weeks, but I was the number 1 artist in the country. Like on record for everybody to see. Then the week he comes to the UK, he checks Grime Daily, someone shows him the thing, the number 1 artist is Saskilla, and the tune is there. Yo, this dude's doing my tour. Boom. I'm on the Kendrick Lamar tour now. Bam, man's on the Kendrick Lamar tour. We're doing stuff, and then me, talking with Screwfizz, and I'm like, yo, what we need to make sure we come off with this tour with is we are not hip hop. We love hip hop. We can do hip hop. We've got the ability to make any music. I can be as hip hop as the most hip hop guy in America. But at the end of the day, that's their backyard that they swing in. Our backyard is Grime. We need to make sure we come off of this tour
knowing that we
repped Grime to the fullest.
Yeah, of course.
That's what we did. Kendrick came out not on the first night. The first night was Newcastle. He didn't come out to see man's performance. The second night was Scotland. He didn't come out to see man's performance. The third night was Manchester. I remember that night because Chris Smalling was there from Manchester United. He came to see us. Thingy, who does the presenting for Man City now from Leeds. Micah was there. Obviously, Micah was even man's cousin. He's even related to man there. So Micah was there. Micah came to see man especially. Okay. He actually came just to see me. His dad told him, yo, your cousin's doing the thing. So Micah went there to see Kendrick and see man. Micah was there with a couple other players for Man City. A couple man was there for Man United, and it was mixed. It was just Man United and Man City mixed in the VIP booth. And it was so mad. Man done that performance. Man murked, and Manchester was going crazy for that because it's up north, innit? It's like a bit of home. Like Manchester's going mad. And Kendrick came out to see man's performance that night, the third night. From that night, he watched man's performance every night. Then he was kicking it on the tour bus every night after that. When man was doing his thing, and he was spraying on the tour bus now, we're going back to back, me, him, and Screwfizz and that. And I'm like to Screwfizz, like, yo, my man's decent. Then I'm like, you know what? We're playing games because we're spitting on these American beats, like bare fast kind of American beats. After that, man put on Grime beats. Kendrick starts spraying on the Grime beats. When Kendrick's spraying on the Grime beats now, man's like, raw. My man's just gets, you know. Like really, he just sprays like gets. But really, it's because he's not on our beats. Because the beats, that makes a massive difference. Like, if he was just on Pulse X and you was hearing the same bars, but you would think it's gets. Do you mean? But it's actually, but they haven't rapped with him, so it's that man wouldn't know. I know all of his voice inflections, all the different ones that he does, all the patterns. So I'm like, right, my man, when he's on, because I'm hearing him on these beats. He's spraying on the spraying on Gash per the Hour even, and when he was spraying on it, he was just sounding like what a Kano or a Gets would sound like on. Or even like our Dot Rotten on the Dash for the Hour. I was like, right, okay, boom. So then after that now, man's come off that tour. It gets to the point of what you just mentioned. The tour's finished now. And then it's time for the step up. Now it's time for the step up now. start making my album. In the process of making the album, I have a mad fallout with Chip, because Chip's obviously dissing Tiny.
Okay.
Tiny's my spar.
Yeah,
I can't. I brought him up from the end.
Yeah.
You can't do this to my little bro. So
Yeah,
I've got to step and just do.
Yeah.
All it is fending.
Yeah.
I'm sure Chipmunk would do it for his people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say? Whether or not he believes he was going direct for Tiny and it's not of no one else's concern. Nah, that's not how we do it in Woolwich. That's not how we operate in my area. So, man fend for my broski, innit? Man go to the grave fending for my broski. So that's what that situation there was. I didn't know it was going to get as big as it's a grand moment. It's one of the biggest grand moments ever. Like, that whole thing that ever happened is probably one of the biggest grand moments of all time.
The big Narstie as well.
Yeah, know what I'm saying? That done a lot for the scene at the time. Then we bring us up to the point where man's at now, where man's done all of these things. Man put my album out, charted top 40, Godson of Grime. Like, I put that out.
You got something with your brother, haven't you? So
I got Godson 1.9 out right now. I got Grime Noir, which is like a jazz-centric grime album with my brother.
You got any Afrobeat or anything?
Man's done stuff, but nothing to put out. Nothing of note to put out.
The only reason I ask, because I think the scene's got a lot of Afrobeats, and it's got a big impact on the scene right now. Afrobeats, do you know what I'm saying? So I just thought you might.
No, definitely, Afrobeats it's got a thing on the scene, but
obviously I know it, and I don't want to push away from it because he's grinding it, and that's the main thing he's trying to push. But I think definitely the Afrobeats is big impact.
It does have a massive impact, bro, because you have to remember, each music is a representation of the generation.
Because like Dave and Jay Hustle, them, man, did they come up through the grime scene then?
A majority of
the era. Not that I'm saying that what they first started spitting, but I mean then what they would have been
hearing, I believe, is that music. So with someone like Jay House, he's got an African accent sounding style.
It's called
the first person in London that ever spat with that African accent sounding style was actually probably between two people, but it was one person especially. It's this guy called Rebler.
Okay.
So Rebler, every African kid growing up in London would have been listening to Rebler at some point. So Rebler's your go-to reference that this is cool to do.
Yeah.
Because at the time, putting African accent on is not
something
to do. It's like the same way he's putting on a Yardie accent for a tune.
Yeah.
It's cool. Then there's a point where it's not cool. Man are doing Cockney accents and their own accents. You know what I mean? It's the same way doing African accent. It wasn't cool. Then man made it cool. Now it's like, yo, man can do that. Don't worry about that. Keep your accent, bro. Don't try to fit in. You know what I mean? Be yourself. So someone has to set the trend. Rebler was that guy. He was the one that took all the stabs in the back. He was there. He had these African bars from early. Where are you going?
So what about another thing I wanted to drop on Kid Bookie? What do you do?
So Kid Bookie is another like mini superstar from the end. Kid Bookie started on Grime. He was with Desperado and South Soldiers and all of them.
See, for me, I know South Soldiers, Desperado. I don't remember the name. What was that? What was
that? Desperado was doing like me nigga rapping them, simi nigga rapping the cater. From the stater. If you're not from there, I'll see you later. Cater. You know what I'm saying with a caper. And you know what, beef motherfucker. So that's Despa. He was younger Despa basically when he grew up. He was with Despa, South Soldiers, all them man. That's bad. On doing this thing, them and proper on the road, doing this thing and doing the grime thing, so he was doing all that. Then he's moved from there and met Dot Rotten through that scenario, and then became an army with Dot Rotten and all of that stuff with Dot Rotten. Then after that, made his own path with Max Star and all these people and all the rest of the grime affiliates. Then in the path, he's been spotted talent-wise on Twitter by the biggest rock band in the world, by the front man, Corey Taylor.
Okay.
Corey Taylor's the lead singer of Slipknot from 2000, massive rock band, one of the greats of all time. He's seen him and he's gone, rah, this kid's crazy talented. Like, just on what I've always seen in him, like, this kid's crazy talented. He's like, rah, and he's not ashamed to say that he loves rock. From him, he's thinking, why would this random you, who's in that environment, be openly saying, I like rock? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? So then he said, I'm embracing this shoot. So he embraced him, made a tune together. Obviously, that opened him up to Corey Taylor's world, you know what I'm saying? But he's already kind of that way wired anyway. So when they said, "Well, can you make more of this?" He was like, "Raw, I've got the ability to. Yeah, this is in me, bro." So he's done it. My man's ended up like what 2 times mobile nominated now. Flipping, they just gave him Enemy Best Rock of the Year. Like he's the best rocker in the Britain. He's the actual number one. Like, you know, like maybe man them are not checking for rock every day. But in rock world, Kid Bookie is the biggest, but he's actually a grime scene kid. So to me, grime is like the maddest music in the world because it's like, how can it produce
madness?
Yeah, how can it produce? Like, you have to understand, like, people look at Krypton Conan and not realize I've been in grime so long. I was there when Krypton Conan was trying to get in grime, so I know there was grime MCs. Like. So I'm like, Rob, look what they've become. That's grime MC talent right there. I'm looking at Blade Brown. I know Blade Brown was in Cold Red.
And now you've got drill.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. But I know all of the cesspool of whatever grime was. It attracted so many different types of people. What they've grown into, it doesn't necessarily mean they still have to be doing grime today.
Definitely
but
not.
just what that you know, like I said, me going to my brethren's house and seeing those decks, it had made me have an affinity towards music. You know, one of them ones. So for them people, maybe that what made them come towards music was the grime. They might be making hip hop today, rap, UK rap, some deep gangster rap shit or whatever. But it's like, I remember being in studio 2004, South London. Big Narstie's come to studio. Big Narstie's come to studio to make a tune with me. He's the first time we're meeting properly in studio, me and him. He's like, yo, I brought my brethren with me. I want you to do a tune with my brethren as well. I was like, oh, what's your brethren's name? Oh, his name's Youngs. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, okay, Youngs, what's good? And then he's like, bum, yeah, man. He starts showing me his bars. His bars are cold. I'm like, this brother is a cold grime MC, bro. Fast forward today, that's Young's Teflon, bro.
Sick.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? But that was Big Narstie's person that he rolls with and does grime. That was his guy. Like that, you see them as a duo when they go out, like Youngs and Big Narstie. So how I look at things is completely different to how everybody else looks at things. You know what I'm saying? I see grime as like, if this thing didn't happen, we wouldn't have anything. We wouldn't we would have Fecky. We wouldn't have, if grime didn't happen, where would we have all our rappers?
True.
Where would we have, half of our rappers wouldn't exist? Giggs was a grime MC. He was MC Giggler. So I'm like, what if there was like, take away grime? God damn, there's just blank, bro. There's nothing.
People, there's bare stories we've got, but I've got not much time. I've got to go and drop my picnic them off. But yo, it's been a blessing today. We've had a big
Leeds
story
massive.
from Sass, man. And all of the names, what he's been mentioning in times and shit, I'm going to try and get a few clips. So if he's mentioned something, I'm going to try and drop that clip in so we can be tagging, posting people, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, blessings, man.
Come on,
man.
G.
Big up, man, every time.
Big up, Books.